Welcome back to Yankees from Israel. My name is Adam Cohen. I am the producer of this channel. I will be broadcasting the 1997 World Series Game 7 featuring the Cleveland Indians and the Florida Marlins. I'm very excited to be doing this game. This is part of a cool new series that I'm doing where I'm going back and watching some old games that I haven't watched fully for the first time. So, really looking forward to this. Now, just for the record, I am doing this in a closed space. This is my office for the next couple months because, of course, I am in my room at home because of COVID-19. But I have my handy dandy Bob Carpenter scorebook, and I also have a lot of notes that I taken beforehand. Now, if you guys do want to tune in, you can always go to the MLB Vault link if you look at 1997 World Series Game 7. And yes, Chris, who is on the chat right now, you can totally send me games you want me to do. And I would prefer old games, by the way, and historical games too. So you can totally do that. So you can, of course, send me games if you're interested. And if you want to follow along with this game too, you can go to the MLB Vault link, go start around 15 minutes, mute that, and listen to me. And yes, 1998 games, that is very cool. Love to do it. Okay, so let's get started. I'll do a pregame real quick, and then I will do the actual game. And of course, this will be in the context of 1997 solo stats. It won't be WAR or weighted runs to rated plus. They use walks and strikeouts a lot more, not walk percentage, K percentage. So it'll be in that type of contest. So here we go. Last night, Game 6 of the World Series. Chris, actually, let me check his name really quick, and then I'll start. I should have his name, or his full name. Then I'll start. Just realized I didn't have his full name. One second. I'll start in 1 second. There you go, Chatterjee. Always got to make sure you have your notes in complete full beforehand. All right. Pregame. Okay. Here we go. Yesterday in Game 6, Chatterjee had a monster night on both sides of the field. Not only did he win the elimination game by tossing 5 innings of 1-run ball, but he also had a two-hit game, including a 2-run single, which of course helped the Indians win 4-1. And it was actually his first major league hits, and the first hit by an Indians pitcher in 25 years. And it happened in the World Series too, which is totally remarkable. And additionally, he had a very nice at bat when he got his first hit. He was fouling off a lot of pitches against a really good pitcher who we'll get into in a second. And one of the pitches bounced off the plate and hit him in the cheek. And he still got the single. So great resilience by Chatterjee. He had an excellent game, staved off the Indians from elimination. Really amazing job. For the Marlins, meanwhile, they threw out their starter Kevin Brown, who allowed 4 earned runs and 5 innings pitched. So not the best start from Brown, and the only run they got that game was from a sac fly from Darren Daulton in the 5th inning. Of course, this is Game 7 now. The Indians are tossing out Jared Wright, while the Marlins are tossing out Al Leiter. And this is Game 7, so whoever wins this will win the 1997 World Series. And we will be back in just a moment to get into the starting lineups. All right, that was the pregame. Now you can start at the 15-minute if you go to the MLB Vault. The starting lineup for the Indians tonight is as follows. Omar Vizquel batting first, then Tony Fernandez. Batting third is Manny Ramirez. Batting fourth, David Justice. Batting fifth, Matt Williams. Batting sixth, Sandy Alomar. Batting 7th, Jim Thome. Batting 8th, Marquise Grissom. And batting 9th, of course, the pitcher, Jared Wright. In the field for the Marlins is as follows: Mosa Alou in left, Devon White in center, Gary Sheffield in right field, Bob Bonilla at third, Edgar Rectory at short, Craig Counsell at second, Darren Daulton at first. The battery is as follows: Charles Johnson is behind the plate, and on the bum for the Florida Marlins is Al Leiter. And we are just about to get underway. You can skip it. We'll just wait like 10 seconds or so. Probably around like the 16:05 mark. And then we can begin. All right, as Vizquel steps up to the plate, we will see the first pitch of Game 7 of the 1997 World Series. Here it comes. And a curveball in there for strike one. Good start for Al Leiter. Vizquel in the series batting .240 with a home run and an RBI. In the postseason as a whole, batting .235 with 2 RBIs. After fouling that one off, Vizquel is now behind in the count, 0-2. Leiter hoping to have a 3-pitch strikeout right here. Here comes the payoff. And ball ground to third. Vizquel tumbles and is out with plenty of time as Bonilla throws him out at first. 1 away. So Leiter making quick work of Vizquel. Ideally, pitchers want to get out their hitters in 3 pitches or less. So good job by Leiter right there. Now batting for the Indians is Tony Fernandez. He is the second baseman in tonight's game. During the regular season, in 120 games, he batted .286, 11 homers, 44 RBIs, 55 runs, 22 walks, and 47 strikeouts. Here's a pitch. Fastball down the inside corner, 0-1. Impressive start for Leiter so far. The 0-1. Fastball missed outside, 1-1. 1-1. And he fouls that one straight back. Just a tad late there. We last saw Fernandez in Game 6, where he came as a defense replacement for second baseman Biff Roberts, and ended up going 1-for-1 in yesterday's game. Now here comes the 1-2. Curveball in the dirt, misses low. 2-2. In the World Series so far, Fernandez has played in 4 games, where he has batted an even .500, 6 for 12, a double, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. Here comes a 2-2. He fouls that one off. Good at bat for Fernandez so far. He has had pretty good speed on the bases throughout his career. He is a somewhat notorious base stealer, and Leiter actually does have his fair share of command issues. So the Indians, who have a lot of power in this line, would love to get Fernandez on the bases. 2-2. Fastball missed inside, full count. Marlins going with their sleeveless jerseys tonight, or almost sleeveless, probably about half cut, I would say, because it is a pretty damp night. Another foul ball for Fernandez. Even if Fernandez does get out here, always a good idea to have a lengthy at-bat, tires out the pitcher, and usually when you see more pitches, it also helps you at the at-bat as well. There we go, line shot to center field, but right there is Devon White to make it out number 2. So good at-bat from Fernandez, but Leiter is the victor over there. Now batting for the Indians is Manny Ramirez. In 150 games this season, he batted .328 with 26 homers, 88 RBIs, 99 runs scored, 79 walks, and 115 strikeouts. He's still a rather young player, and this year he really broke out and really started to come into his own. He's actually been pretty dominant the last 2 years as well. He's turned into one of the young, fearsome sluggers in this Indians lineup. Pitch, and ball ground to short. Fires to first in time, so an easy 1-2-3 inning for Al Leiter. And as we head to the bottom of the first, the Marlins are due up. Got a commercial real quick. After every half inning, I'm just going to take a sip of water. Since on these televised games that they have, they don't have any commercials. And also, this will probably be about a 2 or 3 parter. I'll probably finish this around 1 and then come back to it later, since I got a bit of a busy day today. But nonetheless, getting the work in, which is always good. We are back. The line for the Marlins is as follows. Devon White leading off. Edgar Renteria at short. Gary Sheffield in right. Darren Dalton at first. Moises Alou in left. Bobby Bonilla at third base. Travis Johnson catching. Craig Counsell at second. Al Leiter in the bum. In the field for the Indians, David Justice left field. Marquise Grissom in center. Manny Ramirez in right. Matt Williams at third. Omar Vizquel at short. First pitch. Ball tapped to short. Nice play by Vizquel on the run. Gets him. Nice job by Vizquel. One of the best shortstops in the game. Happy to mention him before completing the defensive alignment for the Indians. It was a really nice running play. Had to shift way over to his left, and then on the run still got out the speedy Devon White for the 6-3 putout. The rest of the Indians' defensive alignment is as follows. Tony Fernandez at second. Jim Thome at first. That ball misses upstairs. And then a battery, Sandy Alomar Jr. behind the dish, and Jarrett Wright on the mound. And ball fair down the first base line. Renteria making the big turn. He's going to try to go for second to throw there. Not in time. Renteria has himself a sliding double, getting the Marlins going here in the bottom of the first. Really good hustle there, as Sheffield has quite the arm in right field. He's not a bad defender out there. And he didn't really have to range too much over either, but really good hustle by Renteria, being very aggressive here, as you should in Game 7. So just a second batter at the inning, and the Marlins are already threatening. The pitcher for the Indians tonight is, of course, Jarrett Wright. In 16 games started this year, he threw 90.1 innings pitched, had an 8-3 record with a 4.38 ERA, 63 Ks, 35 walks. And just based on those stats alone, you might be thinking, why is he starting Game 7 for the Indians here? As that fastball missed outside. Of course, it's not a terrible record. It's pretty good. He's also a rookie, but he has made a lot of strides this year. In fact, he coasted from AA to the majors this past summer. And the Indians do trust his stuff. Fastball misses outside, 2-0. Amazingly enough, he is also the Indians' first round pick in the 1994 draft and just 10th overall. So he has had a very speedy transition to the majors, which is almost as expected for first round picks, but he still came up here in a hurry nonetheless, especially in a shortened 1994 and even a short 95 season as well. Fastball misses inside, 3-0. Exactly what you don't want to do to a power hitter such as Sheffield. Never a good idea to be behind in the count, of course, but even worse, to be behind in the count to a power hitter. First base is open. Right has to be thinking that on his mind. Fastball inside there. Looks like Sheffield was taking all the way there. And look at this, 19 walks in 15 postseason games. So he's probably looking for the walk right there, choosing his pitches wisely. Although that one looked pretty nice to a power hitter as that fastball ran middle in. A 3-1. Fastball missed inside. Not a bad idea by Wright, not giving him anything to hit, trying to buzz him inside of a good fastball. At least keep him close, keep him honest. Nonetheless, the Marlins have first and second, just one out for Darren Daulton, who had the sole RBI for the Marlins in yesterday's game. The 0-0. Off-speed pitch in there for strike one. Daulton has played amazingly in the playoffs so far, batting 7 for 19 or a .368 batting average. The 0-1. And round to second. Let's see if they turn to Fernandez to Vizquel. Vizquel jumps, but no throw, as it was a very nice slide by Sheffield, a good takeout slide. What are they saying there? Maybe it could have been interference. It must have been, as there was only one out at the time. So it will end up being a double play. Sheffield tried to nick him too close there. Let's see. Yeah, he was way off the bat. Usually you want to see him sliding in and maybe perhaps having a hand to the side. It definitely did look like it stopped Vizquel from turning too. So it will be, I guess, a 4-6 double play if you're scoring at home. I'm going to pause it at 27-16. 1 second. Finish up this scorecard, get a drink, have the commercial break, all that good stuff. Leading off the top of the second for the Indians is David Justice, followed by Matt Williams and then Sandy Alomar Jr. Leiter's first pitch to Justice. Inside, 1-0. Justice in the World Series so far, batting 5 for 22, a .227 batting average. He has 4 RBIs and 4 runs. Swings through that one, a big swing there. He has quite the power swing He had 33 home runs during the regular season and was trying to hit the ball in the ballpark right there against Leiter. 1-1. Fastball dotting the outside corner, 1-2. Additionally, in the World Series, he has 6 walks and 5 strikeouts. So he has a relatively good eye. The off-speed misses just a tad low. A good take by Justice there, showing off his good presence in the batter's box. Leiter working quickly. Here comes the 2-2. And broken back ground ball to first base. Dalton takes it himself for out number 1. And wow, that bat went all the way to Counsell at second base. As he will give it to the bat boy. And that's what happens left on left when you get jammed inside. A lot of times you'll see a broken bat. Here is Matt Williams in the World Series so far. He is batted 10 for 24, with a .417 batting average. He actually had a home run too. He hit one off Jay Powell in Game 4. He also had 3 RBIs, 8 runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts so far. Here's a fastball upstairs. Now, if you're a hitter watching at home, you've got to look at Matt Williams' approach. Not only is he the better power hitters in the 90s, he has also has some really good taste. For example, he was saying ready, ready, stop on that pitch, which means, all right, I'm about to swing the ball, up, it's upstairs, but he's getting prepared the entire way. Looks like that one fouled off the bottom of the bat, so 1-1. Unintentional foul ball by Williams, unintentional swing by Williams. But what I mean in the first pitch is that Williams was being very aggressive, and then as soon as he saw a ball, he stopped himself. But he was ready to swing if it was a strike. So really good approach right there. So no matter the pitch, he's loading up, getting ready to go, which is what you always want to see out of a professional hitter. So if you're a young slugger watching at home, always a good tip to look for. Being ready to slug any pitch, be a hitter in the box. Swings through that off-speed pitch. Now 2-2. The Marlins faithful on their feet, looking for the first strikeout from Leiter during this game. Let's see if he can get it right here. 2-2. He fouls it off somehow. That was a nasty off-speed pitch heading towards the dirt. Williams, a good defensive swing right there. Hitters usually have their A swing, their B swing, and their C swing. That was an example of his B or C swing right there. A defensive swing just to keep himself alive. Just to try to foul the ball off and prolong the at-bat. Williams ready for the 2-2. And scorches that one down the line, but it will head foul. That was a screamer. Easily would be standing on second right now if that were fair. Leiter, of course, gets that one back. He'll throw the 2-2 again in just a moment. And here comes the pitch. Lays off the curveball in the dirt. Checked his swing. So not a bad idea by Leiter. If you're going to miss, you're always going to try to miss on low, especially against a power hitter such as Williams. But now this will be interesting because Leiter does have his fair share of command issues. Let's see how close he'll be, how good of a pitch he'll try to give Williams. And he gets him to swing and miss on the off-speed pitch. Really nice at bat by the two there. Leiter ended up being victorious, and there are 2 away. Pretty much the same pitch we saw a couple pitches ago where Williams was able to foul it off. This time unable to catch up to it. Gotta love the lefty slider that's coming for the back foot. Really tough to hit as a right-handed hitter. Here is Alomar. Swings and misses at the high heat, 0-1. Alomar had a career year at the plate rather. 125 games. He batted .324, 21 homers, 83 RBIs. Ooh, that's an ugly swing right there. You don't want to see that again. Neither does Alomar. That curveball started in the zone and just fell out of it. But yes, the 21 homers career high for Alomar, who is mostly known for his defensive abilities behind the plate. Fastball misses high, 1-2. Additionally, he had 83 RBIs and 63 runs scored, so a very impressive all-star season for Alomar. There's a pitch. Fastball just missed outside. Johnson trying to frame it. He's another great defensive catcher, but home plate umpire Ed Montague unable to give Leiter and Johnson the call. 2-2. Way inside. Full count. We've seen Montague behind the plate. There's also Dale Ford at first, Joe West at second, Greg Kosk at third, Randy Marsh in left, and Ken Kaiser in right. That's for two umpires for a playoff game, of course. The payoff pitch. And golfs that swing into the stands. Gave it a ride. Will be foul, though. So Alomar Jr. will live to see another full count. Once again, the payoff pitch. And ball right down the middle, smoke to center field. Right there is White. Makes the catcher out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Al Leiter as we head to the bottom of the second. It'll be Alou, Bonilla, and Johnson due up. We are back. Ivan Hernandez's mother, Miriam Carreras, is in the stands. Hernandez will not be pitching this game, but she is certainly hoping that her son's team, the Marlins, ends up winning this Game 7. Very cool and awesome to see players' family out there. We're just about to get underway in the bottom of the second inning. Isn't that great? They're all looking at the camera, getting on TV. Happy her son is on this pennant-winning Marlins. Curveball in there for strike 1 to Alou. Speaking about family, Moises Alou has a long family history of baseball. His dad, Felipe Alou, actually managed him on the Expos as that ball was fouled off. 0-2. But he managed him while he was on the Expos from 1992 to 1996. Also, his uncles, Matty Alou and Jesus Alou, as well as his cousin Mel Rojas, all played in Major League Baseball. Rojas is currently in the major leagues. As that ball is popped up, heading towards foul territory, Ramirez will not get there at time. He braced himself for the wall just in time. You do wonder how often the outfitters do prep before games about running towards the walls, running towards the track, because they have to know how many steps they need to take before they crash into it, or else they can get hurt. So good run by Ramirez, and although unable to get to it, at least he braced himself in time. The 0-2 to Alou. Lays off the high heat. 1-2. You do have to wonder if some of Lou's family is in here too, and hey, we'll probably be giving him some good feedback, especially on his performance so far in the World Series, because they are, of course, baseball players. They probably have some good insight on how to help Lou. Probably watching his game at the very least, supporting their family member. And here comes Wright's 2-2. Popped up. Who's going to catch it? Shallow center field. Right there is Fernandez to catch out number 1. So Lou is retired. There have only been 7 rookie starters ever in the World Series, and ever in Game 7. And Jared Wright is one of them, so far doing a very nice job. Bonilla takes a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Bonilla has played in a plethora of teams in his major league career, which has started since 1986. He originally started in the White Sox, just playing with them in 86. He's a fastball going away, 1-1. Then he played in the Pirates from 86 to 91 with Barry Bonds, of course. Played in the Mets from 92 to 95. And played with the O's in 95 to 96. He signed a 5-year, $29 million deal with the Mets back in 92. As he is retired there. Where did he retire that to? Let's double check. It's a grounder to second, and Fernandez threw him out. So 2 away. So you can go to the 38-40 mark or so. Now batting for the Marlins is Charles Johnson, catcher in the day, as that off-speed pitch misses low and outside, 1-0. Johnson, 124 games, is batted .250, 19 homers, 63 RBIs, 43 runs, 60 walks. As he fouls it on one off to the left-hand side, 1-1. The pitch, again, fouled off to the left-hand side. Must have hit his foot, actually, as that one came fair, and it looks like he may have even ripped the cover off the ball. So third baseman Williams gave it to the third base umpire to check it out. We'll be using a new one. Lifespan of a baseball is not too long, usually about 5 to 7 pitches, at least around that margin. Usually over 100 are used a game, at least. And curveball in there, strike 3, another 1-2-3 inning. Actually, the first 1-2-3 inning for Jared Wright, matching Al Leiter in the second. And let's see. Yeah, that will be it for the broadcast at this time. But we will be returning at around 2 or so. Let's say 2:15, 2:30. That's when it'll go back live again. We'll start from the top of the third at the 40-minute mark. So have a good one.